Show is going to feature a band that's near and dear to my heart. It's got some family, a lot of great friends, and wonderful musicians. So let's all enjoy Overdrive, the reunion show.
When I was young, I spent my summer days playing the railroad track. The sound of the wheels rolling on that steel took me out, took me back. Big train from Memphis, big train from Memphis. Now it's gone, 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 gone. Like no one before, he let out a roar, and I just had to tag along. Each night I went to bed with the sound in my head, and the dream was a song. Big train from Memphis, big train from Memphis. Now it's gone, 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 gone. Say about trains. Well, I'm telling you, when that Memphis train came through, this whole world not the same. Big train from Memphis, big train from Memphis. Now it's gone, 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 gone. Now it's gone, 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 gone.
Every Sunday in a little church, I'd sneak money out of Mama's purse. She was praying I would slip away. Down the pool hall I'd play all day. Meet her home and she'd shake her head. Fluffing pillows on the devil's bed. Told her, Mom, I know how you feel. Ain't enough to cover all our bills. Bad for heaven and too good for hell. Little wings are better than big tails. Don't expect to sit at God's right hand like an empty heaven's garbage cans. Well, oh, hope there's room on those golden streets. Stray dogs and alley cats like me. They don't let me in the big front gate. Maybe I can go in a back way. Halo candle probably wouldn't shine real bright, but it would get me through the clouds at night. I don't care if I'm the last to sing, or if I've got the smallest set of wings. I'd watch those little devils down on earth, follow them when they'd sneak out of church. Bad for heaven and too good for hell. Little wings are better than big tails. Don't expect to sit at God's right hand like an empty heaven's garbage cans will hold. Hope there's room on those golden streets. Stray dogs and alley cats like me. Bad for heaven and too good for hell. Little wings are better than big tails. Don't expect to sit at God's right hand like an empty heaven's garbage cans will hold. Hope there's room on those golden streets. Stray dogs and alley cats. Stray dogs and alley cats. Stray dogs and alley cats like me. Well, thank you so much for letting us come invade the Bluegrass on Stage television program with P. Williams Productions, also known as Mom to me, so I kind of got some connections in here. Oh, but for many years we've been putting this TV show on. We've used a theme song, which is called The Bridge to Nowhere. And I was lucky enough to be part of the original band of these guys who put that song together, written by the man down here on the banjo. He comes from Kalamazoo, Michigan, and I've worked with him for so many years. He's literally watched me grow up on stage. So we're going to do a live version right now of our theme song, The Bridge to Nowhere, written by Mr. Steve Bowling.
1, 2, 3, 4.
That was Mr. Steve Bowling with The Bridge to Nowhere. Great tune, Steve.
We're here with the Overdrive Band. Now, this group formed in 1997, but there's a lot of well-seasoned musicians here. We're going to start with Steve Bowling. Now, you did The Bridge to Nowhere, which is my song that I used for a theme song. Tell me about this.
This is a song that was really made up from a title I found would be appropriate when my wife Molly and I were traveling down in southern Ohio to a bluegrass festival, and we were traveling along this creek, and here sit these two cement abutments, I would call them, sitting out in the middle of the creek, and it reminded me of a bridge that was going nowhere. And so I thought, Bridge to Nowhere, if I ever write a banjo tune, that's what I'll call it.
Well, it's a great choice because that's what I used for the theme song, and thank you very much for that.
I write instrumentals because I'm no good with lyrics, and they seem to work out. They seem to work all right with the banjo, and I've written 3 total.
Okay. What is your history with the banjo?
Banjos started for me back in the folk music era, 1961, 62. I bought my first long neck Gibson 5-string banjo and just strummed it to the tunes I heard on the records that I would buy, the Kingston Trio and Brothers
Records,
4.
what are those?
You remember the vinyl discs
those black frisbee things?
that you play.
All right,
frisbee.
okay, good.
And I would just strum along, learn the chords. I had a musical background from playing trombone in the high school band, and I could hear the chords, so I would learn those, and that's where it started.
So you're actually schooled in music along with doing the bluegrass by ear?
Yeah, I was in high school music and started in middle school.
Okay, great.
Now, when we originally formed Overdrive, there was 4 of us, and as you can see up here, there's 5 of us. So we have an honorary member with us today. And I say honorary because we're honored to pick with him every time we can because he's just a killer guitar player. And we're going to let him sing for you right now. From Hopkins, Michigan, Mr. Tony Zapolnik.
Sing a song on a Friday night, drink a little beer, wish that Suzanne was here. Face like the summer sky, angel must have chose Suzanne like nobody knows. Suzanne going down the road, carrying everybody's load. Suzanne, I can see her smile, can't stop and talk with me a while. Every day when the morning sun comes up to shine, I remember Suzanne once was mine. She used to say sweet things, better walk the line. Sad song get you every time. Suzanne going down the road, carrying everybody's load. Suzanne, I can see her smile, can't stop to talk with me a while. Suzanne going down the road, carrying everybody's load. Suzanne, I can see her smile, can't stop and talk with me a while. Can't stop and talk with me a while.
Well, let's move over to what Lara's been calling the honorary member. So, Tony, let's go back. We've known you for a long time. How'd you get to meet the family?
Hilliard's Corner Lounge is where I met the Williams family. I grew up around my dad playing instruments. He played the banjo and plays the guitar, and I took to it at an early age and started playing when I was 5, and it's been
downhill ever since. So
I don't know about downhill. You're a great flat picker. I've watched you improve over the years as
Thank
you know, a young musician, and where you are today is phenomenal. The way that you're picking now. Go back and tell us a little bit of history now.
I really don't know how to describe the style-wise of how I play. I just kind of like pretty much kind of stab at it to kind of see where I go. I really don't have a starting or a finishing point.
That's the best way to do it. That's called improv.
Yep. I don't play scales. I don't read music. I hear it and I just go for the ride and see where it takes me.
Well, you're all grown up now, Tony. You're married and have a couple children.
Married, have two boys, Merrick and Jensen, and 4 and 2.
It was fun. I had a jam session at my house not terribly long ago, and all these guys showed up. It was just a ton of fun. And Tony comes walking in, then his little one comes walking in with a case, and then the littlest one comes walking in with a case, and they all break out their little guitars and mandolins and whatever else you had for them. It's super cute.
Yep, it was a good time.
A weary mother on her deathbed lay, both me and sister close down to her fate. There's one last thing that you can do for me, take me to the cliffs down by the sea. Oh mother, you know what the doctor said, you're You're much too weak and you must stay in bed. But soon when you get better, we will go and walk on all the cliffs that you love so. Daughter, daughter, you don't understand. With a tear-filled eye, she took her by the hand, saying, I don't want to wake up to have found that I've been laid beneath the cold, cold ground. Throw my ashes to the rolling sea before I die. Make this promise, please. Forever out upon the waves I'll be. I can't forget that awful winter scene, or the wind that howled around us mournfully. Cast your ashes out into the deep. A crashing wave fell on sister and me. Into the icy water we both fell. Now I'm the only one who's lived to tell a story that will always haunt my dreams. A story of two loves lost to the sea. Throw my the rolling sea before I die. Make this promise, please. When you're by the ocean, think of me. Forever out upon the waves I'll be.
This is my son, Lair. I think everybody that knows Bluegrass on stage knows that Lair's my son. He's not only a great musician, he helps me with everything. He's got the B Sharp Studios and good musician, and just, I couldn't put the shows and stuff on without him. But
Don't forget that part.
Yes.
Yes.
Now, you were a part of the Overdrive band. Did you come in later on after they had formed?
Well, here's how this all kind of worked out. Overdrive started in the early 90s, whether we knew it or not, because I met Kevin and Tim at a little pub in North Door called the Countryside Inn. And it was mostly old country jams and a lot of older guys just sitting around in a circle playing and singing to each other. And when Kevin walked in especially, my eyes just lit up. And be it pity for the little kid or what it was, or maybe he saw some talent. I'm not exactly sure why, but he kind of took me under his wing.
I'm still not sure yet.
Yeah. Excellent. But he kind of took me under his wing and started showing me some licks, and just we had a good time playing music. And then I met Steve through Kevin and Tim, and like you said, about 97, I get a phone call from Kevin that says, we'd like to start a band. And I go, well, that sounds great. He goes, we need a bass player. Would you like to be that bass player? I said, there's a problem. I'm not a bass player. So I bought a bass and did nothing but practice and play bass. And got to the first practice, and we decided, okay, let's try a few of these songs we were talking about. And we kicked off one of the songs. I'm playing bass, just smiling, having a good old time, and then everyone looks at me. What are you looking at me for? Well, you're supposed to sing. I'm supposed to sing too? Oh, no. So it was first couple practices were rough and rocky, but that was so much fun and really pushed me to be the better musician that I hope people see nowadays.
I actually remember that time in your career, and I think the fact that you all were such great musicians and Lair looked up to you for so many years, to be asked to be a part of the group, he knew he really had to step up, and I think that was a stepping stone in your career.
On those nights where I went home and I put one CD in after another and just played it till I couldn't play anymore, there were actually times where they would hit the breaker box out so that it they'd move me out to the pole barn for a while, and they couldn't shut me up, so they just turned the power off.
Should have played acoustic.
Yeah.
That hurts.
Well, you mentioned North Door and the little pub up there, or the Countryside Inn. That actually used to be a favorite jam spot for just a lot of musicians. One being my dad, Larry Williams, grandpa to you, who's a fiddle player. And I know that's actually probably the first time I had seen you, Kevin, was at North Door. How'd you find out about that little jam session up there?
At this point, I really don't recall. I heard about it through the grapevine somehow, but that's how I made all my musical connections over here. I just moved from Lansing maybe 6 months before I started going out there.
I do recall people driving in from other states to go to that jam.
Our next song, we're going to smoke an instrumental here for you. But first, I want to introduce this other guy playing banjo right now. He's been playing mandolin for most of the set. One of the most versatile musicians I've ever had the privilege of working with. He's just spectacular on anything with strings. In fact, the other night he even played bass for a little while. Don't get to see him do that very often. You're on Facebook with that, by the way. We're borrowing him from Detour Bluegrass Band right now. Please welcome Mr. Kevin Gosier.
Okay, we're going to get over to Kevin Gosier here now. I've known Kevin for quite a few years, and
Long time.
yeah, it's been a while. And I tell you, is there an instrument you don't play? You are just phenomenal on everything, and you've got a bit of a different style with the three-finger picking. Can you tell me about where you started with that?
Well, I just could never use a flat pick. And I tried to make myself use a flat pick when I first got my mandolin. And for 3 days, I played with nothing but a flat pick, and I was kind of struggling along. And then at one point, I got fed up and put my picks back on and started playing. And my wife walks into the room and says, "Wow, it sounds like somebody else is playing," as in someone who can play. So I said, well, forget the flat pick.
So what instrument did you actually start with?
Guitar, when I was 9.
All right. And what is your history with music?
Well, I actually owe it to a bad case of strep throat.
Okay.
I was 9. It was early August, right in the middle of summer vacation, and I had a terrible strep throat, and my sister had been taking guitar lessons. Mom wouldn't let me out of the house, so I'm in there by myself, and I asked her to show me a couple chords. Instantly hooked. Been playing ever since.
What made you migrate to all the instruments that you do play, and what is your favorite instrument?
Mandolin is my favorite instrument at this point, but I enjoy them all. I'm probably most comfortable on the guitar because I've done that for so long.
Okay.
Spoken as the banjo player for Detour right now.
Yeah, that's another story. I'd almost given that instrument up, and then the band needed a banjo player 5 years ago, and I basically relearned it. Spent a couple of months in some serious woodshedding and got back into the banjo game.
Well, I know that through the years I've seen you in several different bands. I think you're like a musician of choice. If someone needs someone, they give Kevin a call because you are so versatile on your instruments.
Well, thanks.
Where'd Detour come about? How'd you guys all get together?
Well, the band started, everyone was basically from the northern Michigan area, Traverse City, Cadillac area. And then as the personnel started to change, the banjo player moved to Tennessee, and they added Peter Knupfer on the fiddle from Lansing, and so we just kind of started to spread out across the state. At this point, out of the 6 of us, 3 are in the general Grand Rapids area, so that's been kind of nice.
And you guys are having a lot of success with some of your charted records right now.
It's been a great year, yeah. Last spring we released this current album, A Better Place. For the last 10 months, either a song or the album has been in the airplay charts and also Bluegrass Unlimited for the last 10 months. And
Well, congratulations on that. That's quite a feat.
It's going well.
Great.
Putting the slide in the band is the guy down there on the resonator guitar. He not only plays those things really well, he actually builds them too. He left us for a long time to become a Tennessee native outside of Nashville, and he's finally back in town. That's Mr. Tim Shearhorn. When I first met her, it was sunny springtime morn. Our love grew like the flowers on the mountain. And it felt like then our love would never end. Till that cold Virginia night Jenny left me. Was the full moon on a cold Virginia night. When Jenny left me, I could not believe her frostbitten heart would tear my whole world apart. It was a cold Virginia night Jenny left me. Well, our love changed with the seasons. It got hot like a summer wind. It blew me away into the autumn. And like the leaves that fell, our love shot to hell on that cold Virginia night Jenny left me. Was a full moon on a cold Virginia night. When Jenny left me, I could not believe her frostbitten heart would tear my whole world apart. Cold Virginia night Jenny left me. Was a full moon on a cold Virginia night. When Jenny left me, I could not believe her frostbitten heart would tear my whole world apart. It was a cold Virginia night Jenny left me. Well, her frostbitten heart just tore my whole world apart. It was a cold Virginia night Jenny left me.
Tim Shearhorn. Gosh, what a pleasure to see you again. I spent quite a few years down in Tennessee.
Well,
I moved back home to be with grandbabies. And home is home. It's always going to be.
Right. Now, you've got quite a career not only in music, but you're a builder, a luthier.
I've been very, very blessed and fortunate to have made a living for nearly 25 years building guitars.
Tell us about some of your specifics, your Shearhorns.
Well, it initially started out as an attempt to being a player to build something I couldn't buy. And I wasn't afraid to change things internally. I just didn't want to build a really nice dobro like the old dobros. I wanted to make something that could be heard in a jam session. Speaking of the countryside, I remember taking my old dobro, which sounded really good, but it couldn't be heard. It did not project out of the instrument. So that was my goal, is to build a dobro-style guitar that could be heard in a jam session. And now people are saying they're too loud. So
Yeah, guilty. Guilty.
You've had quite a bit of success. A lot of the key players that are in the bluegrass field of music own your Shearhorn.
yeah, I've been very blessed. Like I said, the interesting thing is that back when I started in 1989, very, very few people were spending the energy on a dobro. We could go to bluegrass festivals and find maybe one or two dobro players. Now they're all over the place. So the evolution of the instrument has really been a big part of what I've done, but not necessarily because of me, but had a little bit to do with it.
Well, I think you certainly did. In fact, you hardly hear a country song anymore that doesn't have a dobro. Now, you not only build the traditional, don't you have some kind of unique dobros or Shearhorns that you've put together?
Well, I've ventured into many different instruments, from dreadnought guitars to ukuleles to a variety of electric instruments, as well as banjos and
You built
mostly,
a banjo?
Yeah, don't tell everybody. Okay.
I'll bet you that's loud.
Don't forget the dope joke.
But it was mainly out of necessity. I was trying to earn a living, and people would mention instruments to me, and at a weak moment, I'd say, sure, I'll build one.
So how long you been
Still
back
do.
in Michigan now?
It's going on 2 years,
Okay.
and no, home is home. And I am slowing down. I'm not building near the instruments I was, and that's by design.
Which that's kind of good because it gives time for things like this where we can all be overdrive again.
Isn't that special? In 46, moved out here to Beaumont, start a little business of our own. They built the freeway through in 62. Everything we had now lost and gone. I can see them driving from my window, faces in the car stare straight ahead. Driving by too loud for comfort, too far away to rent a motel bed. If you're passing on your way from Palm Springs to LA, give a wave to good old Dave. Say hello to Progress and goodbye to the Moonlight Motorhead. Mother sleeping in the back room, TV shows the only life she had. Son's now captain in the Air Force, can't find the time to write his proud old dad. Daughter wants to leave the place at 18, run away with a jobless Beaumont man. Hitchhike out of California, make a pass it on your way from Palm Springs to LA. Give a wave to good old Dave. Say hello to progress and goodbye to the moonlight motorist. The sun comes up behind the freeway, sets down by the dried up swimming pool. Can't make the payments on the mortgage, can't turn that red ink into blue. The weeds are growing through the gravel, blacktop's cracked and partly washed away. Our neon sign points in the wrong direction. The moonlight motoring clouds down today. If you're passing on your way from Palm Springs to LA, give a wave to good old Dave. Say hello to progress and goodbye to the moonlight motoring. Give a wave to good old Dave. Say hello to progress and goodbye to the moonlight motoring.
She was 17, prettiest girl I've seen, but now she's gone away and left me in a dream. Sweetness of her smile shone through for a while, but she left me here today, standing in LA. It's raining in LA. Makes me want to stay. Sun'll shine tomorrow. It'll bring a new day. Stay here with me just for a while, and the sun'll change your sorrow back into a smile. Summer wind blows wild, sweeping out over the bay. Her hair shows like silver as the sun brings a new day. The sweetness of her smile shone through for a while, but she left me here today, standing
the highlights of being the Overdrive band? Tell me some of the fun stories, some of the road stuff.
I got to tell you that
Uh-oh.
Okay.
He was too quick with that. I'm nervous.
My biggest thrill is playing with these guys. I consider myself lucky to have been asked to join that band at that time, and this band has always been the easiest band to play with, to sing with. The parts are always there. You don't have to work on it. If everybody hears the song, it just comes together really easy. So this is effortless. I've played with other players. We have to teach them every note, and it's just too much work. This is easy and fun.
One of my highlights had to be when I was getting ready to release my CD titled Grandpa John. And I worked with a lovely young lady up in the Reed City area. Sarah Lee Rakoff helped me write the lyrics, and I put the music to this. And I had some ideas and was still real early in my musical career as far as trying to get stuff together. And I remember bringing this song to practice. And I just kind of strummed a few chords and ran it past Kevin and Tim and Carl at the time, Steve. And I think for about the next 45 minutes, all we did was arrange and work on and figure that song out. And that's when I realized, wait, this is awesome. I now have a musical outlet where I can bring anything, literally anything, because this was as infant of a song as it could have been. And these guys were just all over it. And not terribly long after, it became the title track to my second CD project. So that was really cool to know that it was just kind of, the young guy still wasn't sure what my role was. I finally made it into the club. I'm like, look at this. They ran with it. Sweet.
Now, you guys did a bit of traveling. Tim?
Well, when I was in Tennessee, I played in a couple bands there. One was the Overall Brothers that had some success. They came out with a CD, and it was number one for like 20 weeks in the Netherlands. Needless to say, we didn't do any road gigs, but
Love that authentic American music.
but we did some shows in Nashville area.
I like your comment just a few weeks ago when we were getting together and rehearsing and stuff. After we were finished, you said, not bad for 10 years off, boys.
You did do some road trips, and I know I've heard some stories about all the fun that you had. Does anybody want to share any of these stories?
My favorite memory of those trips is the knockdown, drag-out euchre tournaments we had between sets.
Cheats.
Vicious. You liked them because you were always on the winning end of them. I hated those games.
I don't know how that happens.
Yeah, it was aces up your sleeve or something. I remember a couple shows, one in particular. I don't know if it falls on a favorite road story, but we played, I think it was like a Tractor Supply or one of those kind of shows. I bet you it was the hottest day in 500 years, and we're on a blacktop parking lot, standing on top of a hay wagon trailer. It was so hot, the equipment stopped working because it was overheating. The fans couldn't cool it off, and we played to, I think, Kevin's parents. We're the only two people that sat in
Die-hard
that
fans.
remarkable heat wave. Even the people driving by would just hit their horn and say, hey, we appreciate you, bye. We're not stopping. This is just too much. They're doing like a grand opening or something. It was just the most miserably hot gig ever, and we played it.
Many of the memories I have can't be shared on TV. But let's just sum it up, the camaraderie. It's a pretty special bunch of people.
I agree with that.
Really don't have any stories, but I just enjoy the time, playing with you guys.
Well, you're pretty shy, aren't you, Tony?
Just a fuzz.
Well, in front of a camera, you're pretty shy.
Yeah. I don't have anything smart to say usually when a camera's rolling.
Or when it's not.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
Boy, I'm glad I didn't say that.
I walked right into that one.
Yes, you did. See? Kevin.
This is the part where we're not supposed to be serious. Really?
That right there was a smoking instrumental called Rebecca. Way to tear that up, guys. I'm glad I play bass on songs like that.